Welcome to the Explainer. It's kind of wild how many big, expensive IT projects just fail. Today, we're going to dig into why that happens, and here's a hint. The seeds of success or failure, they're usually planted right at the very beginning. It's all about having the right blueprint before you even think about laying the first brick. Okay, let's just jump right into it. You've probably heard this story before, maybe even lived it. A huge, promising IT project gets the green light. Everyone's excited. But then, somewhere along the way, things just go completely off the rails. It blows past its budget, misses every single deadline, or maybe even worse, it actually gets finished, but it doesn't deliver on any of the promises that got it approved in the first place.
And here's the kicker. The thing that kills the project often isn't some complex technical glitch or a programming bug. Nope. More often than not, the root of the problem is a badly managed start. The project was basically doomed from day one, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. So how do the smart organizations out there avoid this disaster? Well, they don't just dive headfirst into coding. They use a structured, really disciplined process right at the start. It's called the initiation phase.
The best way to think about it is like a pre-launch checklist for a rocket, right? Or maybe getting a really thorough home inspection before you buy a house. It's all about looking before you leap, making absolutely sure the whole thing is even viable before you start pouring in serious time and, of course, money.
What's so brilliant about this process is how logical it is. It's a clear path. It takes you from just a raw idea, a problem you need to solve or a cool opportunity you want to grab, all the way through a series of really tough checks until you get to a clear, data-driven decision, either a confident go or a very smart no-go.
But hold on, what even gets this whole ball rolling? These big projects don't just materialize out of thin air. They're always a response to a real business need or pressure. We can call these the triggers for change.
And these triggers can come from pretty much anywhere. It might be something internal, like a big push to slash costs. Or it could be external, like a new government regulation you suddenly have to comply with. Whatever it is, these triggers are the fundamental why behind the entire project.
All right, now we're getting to the absolute heart of the initiation phase, the feasibility study. This is that critical moment where everybody just pauses and asks four really big questions to figure out if this idea has any chance of actually working in the real world. And this table just lays it out perfectly. These are the four lenses you have to look through. Number one, does it actually fit with our business strategy? 2, can we afford it, and is it going to be worth it? 3, is it even technically possible to build this thing and make it run well? And 4, and honestly, this is the one that sinks so many otherwise brilliant projects, will our people, our teams, actually use the new system every day? That's the human factor, and you just can't ignore it.
When we start digging into the economic side of things, it's way more than just adding up the costs and benefits. You've got the tangible stuff you can easily put a price on, like new computers. But you also have to account for the intangible but very real costs, like the chaos of disrupting how people work. Same goes for benefits. You have the easy-to-measure stuff like more sales, but also these incredibly valuable things like better data that helps you make smarter decisions. Okay, so let's say your idea passes all the feasibility tests. The project gets the green light. Awesome. But now you've got a whole new problem. How on earth do you pick the right software or the right supplier when there are a million options out there?
Look, just making a simple checklist of features isn't going to cut it. That's why smart companies use a structured method like this weighted analysis. You figure out what's most important to your business. Maybe functionality is everything, or maybe long-term support is the key. You give each of those a weight, and then you score your options. This forces you to make a logical, data-driven choice based on what you actually need, not just a gut feeling.
We're now at the final, and I mean critical, step of this whole initiation phase. You've proven the idea works, you've picked your partner, now it's time to seal the deal with a contract that basically acts as an insurance policy for everyone.
And I really want to stress this. A good contract is so much more than a bunch of legal jargon. It's the detailed roadmap for the entire project. It spells out exactly what's being delivered, when it's being delivered, how much it's going to cost, and who is on the hook for every single piece of the puzzle. No ambiguity.
And this brings us right back to where we started. A solid, well-defined contract directly attacks the very problem that causes so many projects to fail. By setting crystal clear expectations and responsibilities right up front, it becomes one of the most powerful tools you have to prevent disaster down the line. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The most important, high-stakes work on any major project, it doesn't happen when everyone's frantically coding. It happens right at the beginning, in that quiet, careful process of asking the right questions to make damn sure you're building the right thing in the right way for all the right reasons.